What is good, y'all? This is Miles and Maps here coming to you with another daily video. Today, we're going over a fantastic series. I was thinking about what can I do something, come back to so we can keep on learning something about these different countries from around the world. And I said, you know what? All the countries all have different geographic goods and bads. So today, we're going to be playing two goods and one bad for these for a country. Today we are going to be going over Canada. In this series, we're going to be going over the two good things about the geographic things about a country and one not so good thing geographically about a country. This isn't to necessarily to let you know everything about the country, but just to let you know some things about it. And I think starting with Canada is great because Canada, we can start just the first one is that it is has two coasts. It's very much like America, and it has two coasts. And if we look over here, right here, we have one of their province. I believe they have what 10 provinces and 3 territories. A province, they're kind of like a state in the United States where they have their own different governments, and then they have territories which don't have a state government. They don't have a local government, but they do have a government decided on by, laws decided on by the federal government or their I think provincial government or their parliamentary government. But as we hop over here, they have two coasts, which is a really good thing. And because they have two coasts, that means they have some space between people that might attack them. As you probably know, United States and America, they are friends. So they're not going to attack one another. But when you do have two coasts, it does put a barrier between you and all of these other folks, and because they're literally only connected with one other person along this border right here, and they might have some other borders, with islands and things like that. But if we only have this only one border right here, you only have to deal with this one person, this one country. So that's a really good thing, and because of that, it allows you to make decisions and not be for as a government about what's going on. Although government, they don't always make the best decisions, it allows them to make the decisions. But as we look here on this over here, we're going to learn something about Canada today. We have Nova Scotia over here. Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and Labrador, they are one province. They're not a very large province, and I believe most people live in, I think, in Nova Scotia, most of the people, but I could be wrong. But we'll find a going theme in this about where most of the people live, because that's going to be the next the next two. But as we look here, Canada's huge, right? But the largest province, if you want to know, is Quebec. Quebec is the French-speaking province of Canada, and everyone speaks English in Canada, but their only language is French. So you have the city of Montreal here, which, as you can see, it's literally on two islands in the middle of this lake here, and if you're going to notice, this river, and it's connected very close to Vermont, Maine, so all of these different cities. But then as we go a little bit further south, because north of Canada is great, they have a lot of different resources and things like that. But if we go further south, we come to the province of Ontario, Canada. But although Ontario, Canada is huge, goes all the way up here to the Hudson Bay. Fun fact about the Hudson Bay is that when it floods, it could, it's a bay, it's huge. When it floods, all the water gets into the ground, going all the way into North Dakota, and makes the ground of Canada really, really, really fertile for like making crops, something like that. Although there, it's very cold. But most people don't live up near there. They live near Toronto, the largest city in Canada by far. And this is near New York, so it has a lot of culture connected to New York. And we're going to go and get to the whole point of why I'm going this way and looking at Canada in this way, instead of looking at it like, oh, wow. But as we see, as we keep going here, Canada, you have all these different ones. Ottawa, which is on the border right here. So, okay, so as we keep going, And the cool thing about Canada is because they are connected to the United States, we can talk about the second one. Is they have a lot of resources and a lot of space, and because they have a lot of space and resources, as we come over here to Manitoba, which is the largest city, is Winnipeg. They have the Winnipeg Jets as their hockey team. I only know them because they were I really don't know. I think I watched a couple games of NHL, but yeah, you can see Winnipeg. These, I believe, how many people live in Winnipeg? Oh, let's see. Okay, so cool. Okay, Manitoba. How many people live there though? Oh, it's not gonna tell us. Okay. Um. All right. Well, we can see. This is where people are living in Canada, and I think you might be spotting a theme so far as we keep going over. We have Regina right here. Sorry if I'm saying these places any wrong. Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan over there. Then you have Calgary coming over here, and Edmonton, the Edmonton Oilers. I believe this province right here, this is the oil province. They have a lot of money when it comes to the natural resources, the mining. I think one of the biggest mining, the mines are in this province right here of Alberta. And then if you come over to and then this is the, the Rocky Mountains. They go up there, things like that. Let's get this off the screen. So yeah, you can see if we look at the satellite view, the Rocky Mountains. They continue all the way up into Alberta, things like that. So, and then we're going to end over here in Vancouver. And this is where we're going to begin the third thing. Saying that, so they have a lot of space, a lot of resources, as we're going to see. But you can see Vancouver, it's over here on the West Coast. It has a lot of culture that's very connected with Seattle because they're only about 100 miles away, 100 kilometers away, although those are not interchangeable. But one thing I want to show is, can we see there's an island over here? Oh, Point Roberts. So this is a cool thing. So if you did not know that there is a part of America that is connected to as we can see here, connected to Canada, but it is not connected to any other part of the United States. Point Roberts is really cool. I think it's a part of the state of Washington. And we even bounce out of here. So all of that's Canada. But if we can look at all this, this is the state of Washington, including Point Roberts. So these folks right here, these Americans, as you can see, they got elementary school. They have a bank. Kelly and Son Roofing. So like, they have people that live here. And think about this, like during the thing that might get me demonetized, while we're all inside right now probably, is they still had to go to school, and their schools for high school were in Washington. So these people had to go all the way through Canada. And when they shut down the border, what was going on? If they had to go and get like foods and things like that, how'd they get through? So that's pretty crazy. And you see, they even share beaches, and we even go closer. This is literally the road. This is the border with the Canada and the United States. And this is going to be a good point. So this is a cool thing. Point Roberts, and literally right on the other side is a whole city. And we're going to talk about the third part. So the two good things about Canada is that they have two coasts, meaning that they don't have any threats coming from their water. They don't got any threats coming from here or there. And then the second one is they have a lot of resources. Canada is one of the most resource blessed countries on earth. I don't even have to really talk about that. They have gold. They have one of the largest silver mines. This is called the Canadian Shield. This whole area right here. This whole area right here is called the Canadian Shield, which is mineral, just so many minerals and things like that, of all different types in the ground, that are being mined. But the third part, this is the negative part about it though. They have a very low population, and this population is very close to the United States border. About 80 to 90% of Canada lives within about 100 miles of the United States border. And if we look back here, all of the major cities are within driving distance, a day trip of United States. Whether Toronto, you're going literally over to Detroit, or you're going over to Buffalo, or you're Montreal, which is Quebec. You're going over to Vermont. You all these different places. And on top of that, if we look at the road system, and they only have a low population. They have a less population than the state of California, which is about 40 million people. So they have less than 40 million people. But if the roads, this road that goes from Ottawa, let's see, how can I go from here? Let's go from here to Winnipeg. So that is going these different, routes right here. It would take a full day to get there, regardless of where you're going. Whether you're going through the United States, whether you're going through, going up through Canada, whether you're going through the middle. But these are 1 or 2 lane highways going each way. These roads, if we even look down, let's see if we can go to Street View. So as you can see, this road is what is connecting. This road right here, this is just a little piece of it. This road is connecting Canada with the other part of Canada. If we were to back out, if we just say that that's what Canada is connected to, I think a couple of years ago when they had a huge snowstorm, one of these roads, the Trans-Canada Highway, was cut off, meaning that half of Canada could not get to the other half of Canada. And if we were to look at that, just like saying, oh, all right, cool, well, your country, the road's messed up, just fly. Well, if you're in a snowstorm, things like that, it's, you should have to get things on the ground at some point. So when we talk about Canada, most of their population is close to the border with the United States. And I believe, about, 80% of their exports go to the United States. So when you have a low population, and you have a dependency on another, literally the biggest country on earth, whether not population wise or not area wise, but the largest population, the biggest country on earth, when it comes to economy, you are very dependent on them. And I would say Canada, they've actually had a program where they've actually been asking folks from all over the place, but actually primarily Mexico, which was going to be probably the next video, to actually Mexican citizens come to Canada. Canada has a plan right now by 2100 to have over 100 million people. That means they want to grow by 70 million people. That means that the currently 30 million people that live in Canada are going to be doubled and then plus some. So, or doubled twice and then more. So when it comes down to understanding Canada, we're out here looking at, Texas right now. When it comes to looking at Canada, I hope you learned a little something about, what the different good things and bad things about Canada are. The good thing geographically about Canada is they have 2 coasts. That might seem like a small thing, but that's a big thing. And if we even look up the north right here, we didn't even talk about this. Another great thing about Canada is that this Arctic Ocean, I am a person that says, that global warming is real and we need to go and help. But there will always be capitalists in the world, and they have already had their first shipment go from Canada, go through the, this area over here to the other side of the world, cutting down shipping times. Although, we're not looking at the Earth from a globe view. That's a fantastic thing about Canada, is that they're geographically in a place where they don't have any threats, and I believe they're part of NATO as well. So even when it comes to that, they got a lot of good things going. But if their population doesn't continue to grow, because they're never going to move north, they're never going to move past. They're never going to move they're not going to move up here because it's just too cold. It's absolutely too cold for people to be living in these areas. Yes, there are people that live in Alaska, but there's only 800,000 people that live up there. Even in places like Nome, Alaska. As you can see, look at how the lakes look. Look how the lakes look. You can't make roads through there, and it wouldn't even make sense. And look at the mountains. So if you look at this, you got mountains here, you got mountains going up north, and the entire thing is rugged. So that's the same for Canada. And they have less people, they have less resources, but they have a lot of opportunity going forward. So I'm Miles Maps. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. There's a lot of good things about Canada, but these are the three things. So two good things is they have two coasts. Three, the second thing is that they have a lot of space and a lot of resources, a lot of natural resources, whether it's, being able to trading resources, whether it's minerals and, things that they have in the ground. And then the bad thing, though, they have a low population and they are very, very, very dependent on the United States. Most of their population lives within about 100 miles of the border with the United States. So hopefully you learned something about Canada today. Leave a like rating on this video if you enjoyed it. I am Miles of Maps. We're on a grind to 1,000 subscribers. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. But thank you for watching. And if you still are watching, you have made it to the end of the video.